CBT News is expanding its reach like never before and is launching in over 70 million broadcasting households. Whether you have Roku, Apple TV, or a mobile device running on Android or iOS, you can now enjoy our engaging, in-depth interviews with dealers, automakers, trade associations, best-selling authors, motivational speakers, and so much more, whenever and wherever you are. Simply search CBT News in the App Store of your smart TV. Welcome to CBT News with Shyann Malone.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Shyann Malone. Thanks so much for watching. On today's show, we are joined by April Simmons, Corporate Internet and Marketing Director at the Horn Auto Group. But first, here's a look at today's top automotive industry stories. Ford has reached a tentative agreement with union members at its Kentucky truck plant, narrowly avoiding a strike deadline set by United Auto Workers officials. On Monday, the UAW threatened to stage a walkout strike at the factory if the automaker failed to deliver a proposal before Friday, February 23rd. The union has remained adamant that the contract, now 5 months overdue, address health and safety issues facing members at the plant. Roughly 9,000 Ford employees will hold an official ratification vote on the new terms early next week. Fixed ops demand rose in January, as did per-order revenue, leaving dealership earnings hovering for the period as car sales remain mostly flat from December. According to Cox Automotive, work order volume rose 2.7% month over month and declined 1.3% year over year, and that's based on data from X-Time. Fixed ops earnings rose 3.3% from December and were up 4.3% from January 2023. Service costs, though, remain far more expensive than in 2019, reflected by a 37.7% increase in revenue since early 2019. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares shared insights into the changes he plans to implement in 2024 to improve the company's efficiency and profitability while speaking to reporters earlier this week. The executive admitted sales had declined in the U.S. over the course of 2023, falling 1% year over year. However, Tavares did express optimism over the North American market overall, arguing that the automaker's wide profit margin presented opportunities for growth in the region. The CEO said he would be looking to improve cost efficiency in marketing and production, identifying ineffective investments, and improving the brand's relationship with dealers. Thoma Bravo LLC is searching for buyers of its data analytics platform, you know it, J.D. Power. According to a Bloomberg report, Thoma Bravo is seeking an $8 billion valuation for its subsidiary, which it acquired in 2019. Sources familiar with the matter say the negotiations are in early stages at this point, and a buyout deal is not a guarantee. The potential sale comes several years after the merger of J.D. Power and Autodata. Well, don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we have April Simmons, Corporate Internet and Marketing Director at the Horn Auto Group. She's here to discuss the evolving dealership marketing trends and much more.
CBT News is expanding its reach like never before and is launching in over 70 million broadcasting households. Whether you have Roku, Apple TV, or a mobile device running on Android or iOS, you can now enjoy our engaging, in-depth interviews with dealers, automakers, trade associations, best-selling authors, motivational speakers, and so much more, whenever and wherever you are. Simply search CBT News in the App Store of your smart TV.
How would you describe the current state of automotive marketing right now? I know it's a very broad statement, but
You know, it is. I just coming back from NADA, and one of the things that I noticed this year is that there's a lot of dealers going back to their old habits of, being reactive. And what I mean by that is, in marketing or in their processes, rather than really building a strong, solid foundation and working on blocking and tackling and processes and making sure that those things are all shored up and ready to rock. We kind of have this tendency to go look for the shiny new object, or go try to find the thing that I can just, write you a check and you will fix it, and all of a sudden, the pixie dust will fall from the sky and everything's going to sell cars and be awesome. So that has been one of my fears kind of going into 2024 is that is where we're headed, and I saw a lot of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, no question. How does the shift in consumer behavior and preferences influence your marketing approach?
I actually was really thankful for our group that over the last couple of years, because we weren't in that desperate mode to sell cars, so we weren't trying to spend a ton of money at the bottom of the funnel, whether it be in search marketing or whether it be in mailers and that sort of thing. I really had the opportunity to do what I always wanted to do, which was to really build that solid foundation. We worked really hard on our websites, leveraging our group inventory. We worked a lot harder on Google Business Profile pages, and just having all the SEO and all of this, the strong foundation, so that now, as we're ready to head into 2024, we are primed to be able to go further up the funnel and start grabbing customers and having conversations with them long before they're actually ready to pull the trigger and buy a car.
Yeah.
What I am seeing in consumer behavior is actually that it hasn't really changed. I think that there was a lot of news out there that the consumer behaviors had changed a lot, but that was because they were forced to change. It wasn't necessarily, I think, that they all wanted to change. And my data is showing me that customers still want to come to the dealership for the majority. They still want to have a human that sits down with them and walks them through the process, make sure that they're making the decision that's best for them and their family. And that's what I'm actually seeing. Now, now that I talk to a lot of people across the country, I put my little disclaimer on that. In my backyard, from where I sit, this is what I see.
And be sure to watch this full interview right here at cbtnews.com. Well, that does wrap up our show for today, but we do invite you right back here tomorrow morning on cbtnews.com. And remember, you can stay up to date with the most recent news and trends influencing the retail automotive industry by following us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm Shyann Malone. Thanks so much for watching. You have a good one.
CBT News, your #1 resource for auto industry news and content. CBT News is expanding its reach like never before and is launching in over 70 million broadcasting households. Whether you have Roku, Apple TV, or a mobile device running on Android or iOS, you can now enjoy our engaging, in-depth interviews with dealers, automakers, trade associations, best-selling authors, motivational speakers, and so much more, whenever and wherever you are. Simply search CBT News in the App Store of your smart TV